I'm Ryan Betson.
I'm Josh Saunders.
I'm Dylan Bowden.
And we are the PopCulturists, and E3 is done. It's a wrap. After a whole week of games, news, and announcements, it's finally all done and dusted.
How you feeling?
I am tired.
Oh, you had the most of the week off. Stop complaining.
Yeah, but I had like 4 days of getting up, sleeping for the better part of like 3 hours, waking up, doing a thing, sleeping a couple hours more, doing another thing. It's been nuts. But it was, as I said, it was absolutely great for us. I got to sort of do some sort of more interaction with our little community that we're growing. We all sort of sat down together and chatted and debated and got hyped together and then got sad together.
Disappointed together.
Yeah, it was a really good experience, and it kind of made us all come together a little bit more, and I like that a lot.
Well, you guys came together, but I think we're about to be pulled apart.
Yeah, we are, because this is where... So before... that's why Dylan's in the middle. Dylan is the adjudicator. So a couple of weeks ago, we did our E3 predictions, and it has a competition involved. And with that competition comes... What's his name?
Beelzebub.
And you got Beelzebub the trophy. So this is where we look at our three predictions from each of the main people: Nintendo, Xbox, and the PlayStation. Mm-hmm. And we have a chat. Now
score each other.
We score each other. So when we originally did this, we made the decision that it was whole points only, as in either your prediction was correct or it wasn't. There was no partial points. Mm-hmm. Do we still stand on that ground?
Are they going to be any whole points at all?
So that means word for word has to be correct.
Has to happen exactly as it says. Do we still stand that ground?
Yeah, sure. All right.
Fuck it, let's do it. And then at the end, maybe we can we'll do it we'll do the full scores as it is, and then if we feel the need later, we'll have some fun with it and just sort of break it up.
Yeah. So Dylan is here to adjudicate because there are some
questionable ones
around that are questionable. That I might be biased in thinking, no, that's definitely a point, but I don't think Ryan will agree. Hence why Dylan is here.
All right, I'll make the final decision.
Well, I'm going to kick things off. We'll start with Nintendo.
Do you want to go your three, then my three? Or 1-1-1-1? We'll
go 1-1-1-1.
Okay.
Kind of get it. That's
cool.
All right, so kicking things off with Nintendo, my prediction was a new Pokemon announced for the Nintendo Switch. Now, this is already a controversial one. Now, have you watched the Nintendo conference?
No.
Okay, so it cuts to the guy, to the head of the Pokemon company. He essentially says, "Hey, Pokken Tournament is coming. Pokken Tournament is coming on this date that we announced about a week ago."
Yes.
And the team at Game Freak are working on a new Nintendo core RPG. You won't hear anything about it for another year, but it's in the works.
I don't take that as an announcement.
But they're announcing that it exists.
It doesn't exist because they haven't started on it yet.
He literally went on the phone after it said, "Get on it."
Team Go, I just accidentally made a promise on camera.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't. I
this is the iffy one.
That's the
because there was. He said it, but there wasn't even.
But actually, hang on. I said
a thumbnail for the game.
Now I should mention as well. I just said new Pokemon announced for the Switch. I didn't say shit about what kind of Pokemon game it was. I said new Pokemon game. Now, after we did our predictions and before E3, they had the Pokemon Direct and they announced Pokken Tournament.
It's not a new game though.
It is a new game. It's a new game for the Nintendo Switch. It's a Pokemon game for the Nintendo Switch.
Depends how you take your phrasing of a new Pokemon.
That's why Dylan's here. It's a new Pokemon game for the Nintendo Switch.
But it's not a new. But it's not a new.
Yeah, well, see,
Pokemon
one of
game.
Dylan's, one of Josh's falls just out the start of E3. So, like the reason this was announced, the Pokemon Direct was announced to get that out of the way before E3
because it was such big news.
Because it was so uneventful news.
I agree with you that it is a new Pokemon game for the Switch, but it's not a new Pokemon game for the Switch.
That my question doesn't. There's no context or how you pronounce it in that. So
maybe you should have put it in there to guarantee yourself a point.
I shouldn't say that was a vague one.
You can't just make ambiguous statements
and
then loosely tie it to whatever you want. I didn't make any ambiguous statements.
Look, the point.
Dylan, what do you think? Point or no point?
In summary,
would you say
Pokken Tournament is coming? And the head of Pokemon Company did say a core RPG is in production.
He said it, but there's nothing tangible.
He did say Pokemon. He said a new core Pokemon RPG.
He did say Pokemon.
Because he's the Pokemon Company. It's the only thing he talks about.
It was an announcement, or he just kind of like, and by the way,
I wouldn't class it as an announcement because there was nothing tangible to look at.
I would, because he goes, yeah, well, that depends how we clarify an announcement. Whether do they have to be like, and here is the logo of the game.
There's got to be. There has to at least be a logo. If they haven't made a logo, the game hasn't even fucking started being made yet. if there isn't even a title screen for them to show with an announcement at the world's biggest gaming conference.
They did mention it. He announced that it is being worked on.
Well, it's not even being worked on because they had no pictures to even show with a
Yeah,
logo.
Pokemon don't tend to do the drop tease stuff. They kind of announce it in one go. Like
Dylan, we'll leave it to you.
does it not?
We don't argue with the adjudicator.
No, his decision
word
is final.
Point or no point?
Yeah, on technicality, I would say it's a point.
Thank you very much.
No worries. My first one for Nintendo was no more than 3 3DS games announced, which was flat out correct.
Yeah, in the Nintendo conference, they announced absolutely 0.
Mm-hmm.
They announced a couple afterward, but we're talking conferences here, and they announced none.
Yeah.
Whoa, okay. 1-0.
Virtual console Virtual console will be coming out within a month of E3. They haven't said shit.
No.
They've said
Completely
nothing about virtual consoles. That's nothing. Bet.
Nothing. Next one for me, which is a half and half.
Oh, here we go again.
Price and launch date for Nintendo Online. Now, about a week before E3, they announced the pricing, $20 a year. Fuck, that's pretty good pricing. And they just gave it, they said 2018, so there's no date.
See, this is where we fall into the same thing. Now, so that I got the first point I got because they announced Pokemon in the Direct. Your thing isn't before the Direct. Now, but technically...
It's in between the predictions and E3.
Correct.
So you got to see...
So they announced that it was $20
that's confirmed.
beforehand.
Yes.
And then they announced that it would be 2018.
No, in the same announcement, they said it's $20 a year. It'll be out in 2018. The service will be...
It wasn't E3 though.
It was between our predictions and E3.
Sorry?
I'm just saying.
Hey, you're the adjudicator.
Keep in mind that if we go this route about nothing in between our predictions and E3, Ryan, you can't pull that card either.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Whether you were going to or not, I don't know. I'm just
Yeah.
saying. It has to be a blanket rule.
But it is E3 predictions, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's the predictions at E3.
I don't think that counts, Josh. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's fine.
No,
Not arguing with the adjudicator.
Yep. And my final prediction was new Joy-Con colors. They said they announced the ones for ARMS, but that was not at E3. They did not announce any Joy-Con colors at E3.
They actually announced the ARMS ones before our prediction
Yeah.
video anyway. So, yeah. My last one for Nintendo was Super Smash Brothers announcement for the Switch, and there was nothing.
How disappointing.
So at the end of Nintendo, where do we sit, Dylan?
It's 1-0.
Oh,
My board is getting excited, leaning to Josh's side. So I'll just stick that down to calm myself.
all right, kicking things off with Xbox. This is where I get really impressed, actually. So Project Scorpio, which is now known as the Xbox One X.
The Nintendo Xbox One X.
Yep, the Nintendo Xbox One X. The Scorpio will be releasing in November for $499 US, and that is exactly 100% correct. It launches November 7.
No, I'm afraid it's not, Ryan, because you said the Scorpio is the Xbox One X.
Yeah.
So technically,
Oh.
But at the time, that's what it was called.
Maybe you shouldn't have put a name to it.
It's still the Scorpio.
It's not the Scorpio. It's the Xbox One
it's a
X.
different console.
No, the Scorpio is its development name.
It's a different console.
It's the exact same console.
No, not by name.
But a car is still a car. Just like they're all cars, but it's
No, you didn't say an Xbox console would be released in November for $499.
You said that the Xbox Scorpio would
See,
be
this is
released
pedantic in the
November.
wrong way.
It says Scorpio.
Because
It does.
at
That's
the
really
time it
specific.
wasn't called Xbox One X.
I guess
just
being
saying.
specific might shoot you in the foot sometimes.
Yeah, that's right. The same as your vague Pokemon game announcement.
Yeah.
I'm not giving you that one. I'm taking
Oh.
it.
Are you fucking serious? Okay, can't. Ugh.
Can't argue with the adjudicator.
See, I'm bummed because I was so proud of that prediction because I'm
It was
like,
good.
that is
It's a
100.
good one.
It is
It's a good
100% spot on.
prediction.
But you can't do it out of 3 points. It's just one solid point. All the things have to be matched word for word. Remember we said
Word for word.
See that? That's
You
that's
can't
shit.
argue. Can't argue.
Yeah. All right. Fine.
My first Microsoft
Fuck you.
one.
That's fine.
What are you doing? He can just dock you no points for the
Yeah.
rest
He
of the
could,
game.
yeah.
You need to
Yeah.
be
Points come
careful.
off.
I said there would be a new Halo launching for the Scorpio, which was incorrect completely.
Yeah. No Halo at all. Not even a little bit.
Not even a little bit of Halo.
Which is really impressive.
Yeah.
My second one was Cuphead will get a release date, and it did in a trailer at the Xbox conference of September 29.
Yeah.
Did you guess 29?
No, I didn't specify a
You
date.
just wrote that down.
I just
Okay.
I wrote that for
That was already
reference.
out.
I wanted it to be like. See, that's what everyone's
I thought I just
thinking.
missed it.
Yes.
My next one for Xbox is one of the if so maybe kinda ones. I said, well, I guess it's going to be a no because of what your attitude's like at the moment. All previous first party Xbox titles will receive a patch for the Scorpio, upgrading it to 4K.
Now the catch is the term all.
I said all.
So
they're not doing all. They're doing many, but not all.
So essentially, the lineup is Killer Instinct,
Minecraft, Gears of War 4.
Yep.
Halo Wars 2.
Yep.
There's 2 first parties in there, one other one, and then there was about 30 third party titles.
Yeah, but if you're specifying all, Halo 5 Guardians was not on that list.
It's not backwards compatible.
It's pretty bad when you say all and there's 3 titles.
Yeah.
And Quantum Break's not there too, actually.
Second party, it's not first party.
Oh, well, there you go.
No, that doesn't count.
Yep.
My third and final Xbox prediction was Crackdown or State of Decay 2 will be released within 3 months of Scorpio. Now I've written Scorpio as well. If you want to get pedantic there,
I can get pedantic about something else.
But Crackdown is releasing day of.
So you're mistaken. Crackdown is not releasing the
Crackdown
day of.
3
Crackdown 3 is releasing the day of.
Oh, and you did write State of Decay 2.
It's Crackdown or State of Decay 2. So I'll give him that I'll let him switch over to Crackdown, but it is Crackdown 3 and not Crackdown that is coming to the Xbox One X and not the Xbox Scorpio.
Yeah, but you read Halo, new Halo.
I didn't get a point for that.
I could but I could call that like new Halo 1. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
New version.
But also, if you're getting pedantic about the naming of the console, he said it's coming to Scorpio, but it's actually coming to the Xbox.
But once
One
again,
X.
at the time, that's what we knew that was.
Right?
Maybe you should have wrote Microsoft's new console instead of giving it a name. You didn't give him a point based on it being called a Scorpio.
It was very specific in that question. All right, let me think about this. Crackdown or State of Decay 2 with...
Launched within
3 months of the Scorpio. Crackdown 3 is releasing day and date.
See, I'm going to
the new
argue
console.
because he said Scorpio before, you will not give him a point.
Well, that's
and
the
now you
thing.
can't bring
If
it
he
into this
says
one
that
either.
If you didn't write Scorpio within 3 months...
That's so bullshit.
You can't argue.
I know I can't argue, but that is a judgment call that if we had a second adjudicator, which would be weird, I would take your adjudication to the adjudicator.
Did you give it to him?
No, not yet.
Okay.
I'm just writing down the date.
Okay.
All right, do you want to go to the second judge? Do you guys want to...
Well, phone a friend.
You're just going to say yes and he's going to say
it's still
no.
you're going to be the tiebreaker.
Yeah, no,
anyway.
because you want to say no because like if this becomes a yes,
I'm only arguing because of your first Microsoft one. You stood
That's
firm.
what I'm saying.
So if you said that's fine for his first one,
Then
I'd be totally fine with this.
see that's the thing. So the problem, if that's a yes,
you set a precedent when you denied him that point on the first.
So that's
Xbox
correct. So if
one.
that becomes a yes, then in order for that first ruling to still stand, that would have to be amended.
All right, technically you didn't write Crackdown 3 and technically it's not Scorpio. So only on a technicality
That's
out on that one.
balls, but
You still
fine.
You're still up, man.
Fine.
I got none for Microsoft. Xbox VR would be announced, which is
Now
not a
you
thing.
wrote Xbox, but it didn't happen anyway. But it would have counted.
Mm-hmm.
So cross. All right. 2-1.
Now we're into PlayStation.
Leaning on Ryan's side.
My first prediction was more than 5 VR games and less than 5 Vita games will be announced. 6 VR games were announced for the PlayStation. No Vita games.
Total point.
Do we need half points?
No, because he's right on both counts.
Yeah, because there were less than 5 Vita games. There were absolutely none.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yep.
Then I would say yes.
Yep.
My first one for Sony is they will not acknowledge the existence of the Scorpio.
And that's
at all.
totally true.
didn't.
There was one jab at the end when they sort of a jab about Spider-Man. As in like, this is Spider-Man.
real
It is a
exclusive?
true exclusive. This is a real exclusive.
That was referring to a game though, not a console.
Yeah, that was jabbing at Xbox for
Well,
Their terminology of
exclusives. But that technicality, you mentioned Scorpio. They didn't mention Scorpio
They
because
couldn't, 'cause it's not called the
Yeah.
Scorpio anyway, so it's a point
so they
regardless.
didn't. That's a win.
Yep, that's
Yeah.
totally a point. Yeah. My second one was dates for Detroit Become Human, God of War 4, and Days Gone will be announced. None of them did. God of War got a release window of early
disgusting.
next year.
So Days Gone didn't even get anything.
None. Yeah.
No, not even a window.
So that is a 0. That is a big fucking zilch.
That's silly.
My next one is also, I believe, a zilch. Sucker Punch will get some stage time. They did not. They weren't even there.
Yeah, they're off drinking with Kojima.
Yeah, whatever game they're doing, we still don't fucking know.
And my last one is Call of Duty World War II, Destiny 2, and Battlefront 2 will be on the PlayStation stage. Call of Duty was, Destiny was, Battlefront was not. Therefore, that is a 0.
Now, this is the one that can bring us to a tie.
No.
This is the one that can bring us to a tie. I said we will get more information on the Final Fantasy VII Remastered game. And we did.
How?
But not at the conference itself, in between the predictions and the conference we did.
Yeah, Square Enix essentially came out before the conference saying, hey, we're not going to be at E3. We're working on it. We're changing...
We've changed it from being third-party developed to first-party developed.
So which said they're bringing it back into Square Enix.
Yep,
this game will be about 3 years out,
Yep,
but we will not be at E3.
We're hiring a lot of people specifically for this game. We won't be at E3.
Well...
See, now I'd argue... Because I said more info on the game, and before this you were like, no, well, you didn't get any new info, but we got enough info for.
We got new info, but not at the conference. That's the technicality. We're talking about E3 predictions here. This happened before E3.
But was it news for E3?
They said they won't be at E3 this year.
Yeah,
so
the announcement was them saying we're essentially not going to be at E3. There'll be no announcements from us at E3 about Final Fantasy Remake, and here's the information that we have currently.
That doesn't count. It's not an E3 prediction.
But it was referencing E3. That's your question.
Yeah, but it's referencing them not being there.
Not being at E3.
Yeah.
Hang on, let me think. So,
and our prediction was
mentioned E3 in it though.
They did.
Yeah, but at the same time, this is the PlayStation announcements. They didn't say it at PlayStation. They didn't say it at PlayStation Blog. There was no connection between that information and PlayStation.
At E3 at all? Did PlayStation mention it?
No.
No, because they said they wouldn't be there.
Nope.
I'm sorry, Josh. That doesn't count.
Okay.
So
that's some strict marking in this.
3-2.
Oh, I won.
You're gonna have to announce that you've won this.
Thank you very much.
You've won the toy you already bought for your
thank
son.
you. I won the toy that at least
back to your son now.
James will be happy that it's not leaving the house. I'd like to thank myself for predicting really well.
See, if we were going on half points, I would have actually won.
If we were going by half points, you would have smashed me.
Yeah.
And I would have got slightly. I would have.
Should have gone on half points because hole's tough, especially when you got 4-part answers.
Okay, well,
so
this is the official win.
You've won.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Do you want to add up what it actually would have been without an adjudicator?
Yeah. So if I would have got a half point for the price and launch of Nintendo Online.
That's correct. Yep.
I would have got a half point for the first party patch for Scorpio.
Yep.
I would have got a half point for Final Fantasy.
I would have got a whole 2 extra points because of the Scorpio thing. Because the Scorpio in November, because of the word Scorpio, I got docked a point.
That would have been a full point.
That would have been a full point. Crackdown, because I wrote Crackdown instead of Crackdown 3.
And Scorpio.
Well, did I mention? See, this is. I want to go to the tape for this one.
See, I'm always. I'm going to disagree with that point to my death.
No, because it's totally correct.
It's not.
No, but
in your wording, it's not
but
correct.
see, this is your wording on that final picture. We would need to confirm with the video whether I said Crackdown or Crackdown 3.
You said Crackdown.
We did?
So I went and watched the video.
I'm going to check this shit again. Go on to the video.
We'll do that off the... Oh, you want to do that now?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
How are you going to find it in the 25-minute video?
I'll wing it. So, okay, so how many half points did you get out of that?
You would have got 2 whole points.
Yeah.
And they're 3.5. So you would have got 3.5.
Yeah.
Okay.
You would have won anyway.
4, yeah.
Regardless of whatever the result of this one is?
Well, no, you would have got 4 and then you would have got 5 because of that Crackdown 3 crap.
Alright, so I still would have won anyway, but this is just... I'm genuinely curious now.
So we'll just let the dead air...
Yeah, no, we'll just go dead air for a minute.
It's tense.
It'll be crazy. Let's just go.
Getting there.
Yep, no. To your credit, I did say Crackdown, not Crackdown 3. So so if we're going half points though, if we're not adjudicating, I would consider that fine.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, no, we're talking.
I was just being a little bitch to try
Yeah, no, I appreciate
point.
it. That was fine. I still won anyway, so it was a good battle. Josh, I know you're still sick, but I'll shake your hand anyway.
I just coughed into it. I literally just coughed into my hand. And
Dylan's a
germaphobe as well. All right, this year the title is Ryan's.
Thank you very much.
Unfortunately,
overall, it was we were pretty wrong.
Pretty shit predictions, actually. I think next year we need to predict everybody's conference. just to have more
just like
points
we'll
of
get Ubi in
variation.
there, we'll get EA in there, just
Yeah,
so
get
we
Ubi,
can
EA,
do more.
Bethesda.
See, that's we did do our third parties at the start of that video,
Yeah.
but that doesn't help us points. But I'm curious how we went.
Let's watch
Yeah.
it.
I remember it being.
Let me just fuck around on my phone again.
I think the only one I remember is predicting that Bethesda would say they're working on a new engine with the new Elder Scrolls to go along with it, and Bethesda just fucking sucked this year anyway.
Yeah.
So
I remember doing the South Park release date, and they
Yeah.
announced that like 2 weeks, like a week before.
yeah, so you wouldn't have got it.
I wouldn't have got that one
'cause
on
I
the
wasn't allowed a point for
technicality.
the Final Fantasy.
Well,
it.
so,
Thank
so
you, Dylan,
Dylan,
for
how do you feel about the
adjudicating.
competition? How you?
I feel that was unfair in my judging, but we had to go with it once we started.
If you viewers do not agree with Dylan's judging and you come up with a different score for us, let us know, please.
Yeah,
I'll happily
you still
take
the win.
take the belated win.
You'll take the correct win, the right win, the righteous
Recount
win.
the votes. Do a recount.
I don't know how to recount.
I'm Ryan Betson.
I'm Josh Saunders.
I'll do a button.
And that was our results for our E3, the 2017 predictions. Overall, E3 was not too bad. Yeah, so it was
decent.
Yeah, it was fine.
There's some stuff I'm excited for. I'm
Yeah.
not going to talk about it now, but
Yeah, like there's
There's a
more
little bit
videos
I'm
to come. We'll
excited
talk
for.
about the things that we are most excited about. So, social media plug.
if you enjoyed that conversation, you can join in that one and many more on YouTube, iTunes, Stitcher, Facebook, and all other major social media outlets. But the main conversation happens on our Facebook community group, facebook.com/groups/thepopculturists. And if you really, really, really like what we do, I don't understand why you would. We also have a Patreon, patreon.com/thepopculturists. Jump in there, check out the tiers. There might be something there that tickles your fancy.
See you in the next video.